Hello, everyone. GameGoddessFee again. I hope you all are still having a wonderful day. All right, my night is going well. Got some dinner and let that digest, and now I'm ready for this game. I hope your night is going well as well. But yeah, I wanted to do Ace Attorney, and I do have my boy. All right, so yeah, he's gonna help me out with this as always. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. All right, I'm not sure if you are you all Ace Attorney fans?
Nope.
But trying to get this off of here. I wonder why it's not. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Anyway, yeah. Oop. I'm already messing up. Oh, let me do this. Hold on, you guys. Okay, had to get the audio on track with the music. Is the switch too loud? Let me turn on the switch some. All right, Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Turnabout, Reminiscence.
That's not the word.
What you mean?
That's not the word.
What you mean? It's not a word.
It's Reminiscence.
Whatever, boy. Beginning investigating Defendant lobby number 2. You ready, Plum?
Nope.
You said you never played it? What is it exactly? It's an attorney's game. So
no, it's not.
That's what I see it is. Basically, it has several different games. We started off with the original Ace Attorney, where you played as Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright was a defense attorney, and just defending, going through cases. You have to go through cases and see if you could get them off. Guilty, not guilty.
They be guilty.
It's really fun. I wasn't but I didn't really know about the game. My son, he introduced it to me, and I started playing it, so I liked them. And this game here is Phoenix Wright had a friend. He's known since 4th grade, Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth. So this is Edgeworth's game. He's a prosecutor.
And he's corrupt.
He's a prosecutor, so yeah, but I rather enjoy them. That's really cool. I may purchase it. Is it on the Switch? Yeah, this is the Switch. What you think? Should he get this game first, or?
If you into visual novels, start with the originals.
The originals, like Ace Attorney. Just to get a feel of who the characters are.
They say you can start with any one of them, but they be fibbing. You cannot.
See, if I didn't start with the first game, I wouldn't have known who these people are in this game. I would have known Button Karma. Right?
You just be an old man.
So I think it's best, like, if you want to start it off, get the first one, then make your way up. But Miles Edgeworth game, I mean, it's a good game as well.
You can start with the Great Ace Attorney, because that's like a spin-off.
The Great Ace Attorney?
Like, you're missing references, but like it's like its own thing.
This is Ace Attorney Investigations, H Game 316. So I'm not sure if you're an Ace Attorney fan, but I play it every once in a while, every other day, along with my Zelda. So yeah. But if you watch it, you can see the feel of it. If you don't like it, I don't mind you leaving. You know, I'm not holding you all hostage or anything, but yeah, it's okay if she don't like it. Everything is not everyone's cup of tea, you know. But I don't mind at all. But yeah. I hope you all enjoy and thank you for watching. You ready, Plum?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the tips. I will probably get the first one sometime this month, but I will definitely watch it to see if I like it. Yeah, just watch it and see if you like it.
You ready for a lot of screaming?
My son, he does the voices, so he likes to do the voices.
No, I don't.
Yes, he does.
I'm being held captive.
Don't believe that, you guys. Anyway, let's go. We left off yesterday. We started the new case yesterday, so we were in the defendant's lobby.
What is this?
Hold on.
This ain't where we was.
Get us to where we was. But and most of the time you're investigating a murder case.
You can't say that. This is YouTube.com.
That's why I hesitated. But I like the different cases in this game, so you see what's going on right there. You the joystick, really? He's played it. He's played through it. I haven't. So that's why most of the time he's here to help me out too. To cheat, really. Whatever, Plum. Okay, what we doing now?
Examine the corpse.
Yeah, we got to examine the corpse. So he's the voice of Edgeworth. I'm the voice of like any female character. That's how it goes.
It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only logical conclusion is... Aha! What was that outburst for? My detective's instinct just hit me real hard! It was Mr. Rell that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that! It's common sense! But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies. I won't read you. What is this line again? Whoa!
Okay, so I guess investigate that.
Looks like Mr. Rell died with the knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. And he must have used it as a weapon! Yup! No doubt about it! Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot some notes down about it. In my little notebook.
Nice data jotted down in my organizer. I believe Faraday brought this as evidence. It was found in Rell's hand. Okay, I guess the gun next, huh? The pow pow.
Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So he shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun? I guess that does seem kind of strange, huh?
Right. How both of them still holding the murder weapons?
I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? That's what's strange to you, okay. It's not exactly rocket science. Even I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll even need to use one. I hope I have to never fire a gun either, pal. But it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands. It appears that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand.
Handgun data jotted down in my organizer was Faraday's evidence from embassy staff killing case. It was found in his hand. What's this?
Aggie. Why are the plastic bags scattered all around? Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal! I know that much, detective. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy... Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men?
Plastic bags used to store evidence are strewn all over the floor.
It's not time to touch my forehead yet.
Do we still need to examine him?
Yeah.
Oh.
I want rest!
You really do.
I can't sleep, Gumshoe. I've taken too much coffee. It gotta be yellow, remember? His hand is all black down there, see? I wonder what it could be. If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain.
And this game is different from, I'll let you know now, this game is actually different from the Ace Attorney games. In the Ace Attorney games, you're always like in the court, and then you have like investigation days where you have to go and investigate the scene. This game is more investigating. So this is the first case that I've seen them go into a courtroom.
And then they were in the courtroom for like 2 seconds.
Like they're never in the courtroom in this game. It's just like investigating. So it's kind of like 2 different styles of games.
It's a spin-off basically.
Yeah. Anyway. What I say? Ink stain. Mr. Faraday has ink on his left hand. Why is there ink on such a place anyway?
An ink stain? Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen. A feather pen? I've never seen one before. I've never seen one before. Sure you weren't just making it up, pal? Who does use a feather pen? What kind of junk is it? Mr. Rail's cause of death was being Mr. Rail's cause of death was from being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down.
Get him up.
Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they were trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rail's cause of death with his body positioned like that. Detective Bat, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail, if possible.
What's this? You're not able to form a theory with them the way they are?
I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you?
I suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it.
Abby. Yes, sir! We've taken enough photos of the scene, sir! And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. What? Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will ya? Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir! Understood, sir! Okay.
Hey!
No.
We investigate this.
There's a knife wound in his chest here, see? I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rel is holding. Labby. Yes, sir! Verify now, sir! Make it quick. From the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rel is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. It looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with the knife that Mr. Rel is holding. Ouch! What's wrong, detective? My stomach's starting to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed. Just keep your mind on the case, alright? I love touching my forehead. Shots in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week, and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't any burn mark on his clothes. That must mean... Wait, burn marks? A round grows very hot as it is discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, Mr. Rel must have been shot from at least a yard or two away.
Handgun data updated in my organizer found in Faraday's hand. Bullet that killed Rel was fired from a few yards away. I keep on forgetting YouTube don't like those words.
What's that in his pocket?
Hold on.
You sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently, this detective has as much common knowledge as your everyday muscle. Debbie Gobi, Baba Boy, Baba Boy. There's something in this. There's something in this pocket. It's a fountain pen.
It's so silly. The fountain pen in pocket. The fountain pen in Mr. Faraday's pocket has this especially nice nib.
What?
Hey, you know, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bat is always telling me. You should always write your name on everything you own. Yes. Somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rel and fired. However, Mr. Rel managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. Then the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory in any case. What a crazy way to go! Still, something about that explanation just doesn't seem right.
Crime scene notes jotted down in my organizer. Notes pertaining to Byrne, Faraday, and Mackerel.
I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Look at that nice table.
What's wrong with the table?
I just want you to look at it. There are some plastic bags stacked on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy.
The tea set and plastic bags on top of the table are completely undisturbed.
Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle? After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know? Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor throwing us off.
Can we look at everything on the bag on the table, or?
Yeah, if you want. There's some stuff in the bag, pal! I suppose this was Mr. Faraday's bag. It's probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him. This is the evidence? I better not touch it! I'll leave prints on it! You just not pay attention to anything you do.
Window open.
The window is open and... there's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Ugh! The flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly! You think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? Well, at least there's no way someone escaped through this window, pal! They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor! You willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows.
Lobby number 2 window. No human can climb through these barred windows. The scent of flowers is in the air.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right? They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice.
What else?
I think it's time to touch our foreheads.
Okay, we got to use lots.
So, the table is neat and tidy, but there's plastic bags all over the floor. Ain't that a contradiction?
I guess.
That's a contradiction, mate. Ooh!
Really, dude.
There's a very tidy pile of plastic bags on the table. And yet, a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely that the ones on the floor were knocked over during the struggle. In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there? Another reason? I believe it's possible that the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow. Please get that blood away from me, pal! Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag? Hold on. Let me ask the lab guy. Alright, please hurry. Wait till you get a load of this, pal! It's Mr. Faraday's! Oh, and the technician said they didn't find anything else or in the bag either. It would appear that this bag is a very important piece of evidence. Okay, if you say so, I'll leave it in your hands, pal!
Plastic bag data jotted down in my organizer. One of the bags strewn on the floor of lobby number 2 has Faraday's blood on it.
Alright, what makes ink?
Fountain pen?
No, I'm talking about ink as in Splatoon. The little Splatoon characters shoot ink out of their guns. And they swim in it.
Fountain pen and ink stain.
That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen. Oh, let's ask the lab guy! They may be painted, but... Detective Gumshoe! I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen. I see. Good work. You know, I've always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. If Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand, I think it's fair to assume he was left-handed. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well. Okay, if you say so, pal.
The gun is in his right hand.
Ooh.
Mr. Faraday's fountain pen data jotted down in my organizer fountain pen used by the left-handed Faraday. Looks like it has a quality nib.
You probably missed something.
Did I? Let me see. I guess the T. Ooh. I keep on pushing that button. Let me move this joystick some. Ah, that's a cool.
Maybe the TV. Wow! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. And perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one. Oh, let me see here. Wow, this thing is huge. Ah! And way too noisy.
You're the noisy one, Scruffy.
Don't touch it. You'll get your fingerprints all over it. But I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime seems the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to show up on. I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? They really did kill each other. No, we can't conclude that quite yet. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic in this case. In fact, there's actually a contradiction that shows there's another possibility. No way, pal! Really? I suppose I will just have to show you the contradiction in this crime scene. I won't rest! I won't rest! Mr. Faraday is holding a gun in his right hand. That's the one Mr. Rowe got blown away by, right? Labby, your answer. Yes, sir! We found that the ballistic markings do match the gun. Oh, ballistic markings are, or the figurative fingerprints a gun leaves on a bullet when fired. Every gun leaves its own unique ballistic markings. Therefore, by looking at the markings on a bullet, you can tell which gun it came from.
You already examined that?
Yeah, that's it! Of course! I already knew all about that, pal! Maybe you would be better off going back to the academy. Come on, sir! Cut me some slack, will ya? So the bullet that was fired from this gun is what felled Mr. L.
We don't need to deduce them.
We do.
This spot somehow connected to the other. Is it? Yeah.
You was just saying something earlier. About the hand. I wonder if he did it. Should I say something? No, he definitely didn't do this one. He did the other ones, though. I ain't gonna say nothing about it, though. I'll have to wait 20 years.
Really? What's up, Yeety? How's it going again? Okay. Is it the gun?
No, it's the pen. He left-handed, but it's in his right hand. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet, the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene. Hey, you're right, pal! That does seem kind of strange. But how could something like that happen? The facts add up to one conclusion, and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Someone else? Plastic bags scattered on the floor, and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us.
Investigation complete. September 10th, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
Here's the autopsy report.
It is probable that Mr. Brill survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously from his stabbing. Interesting. Crime scene notes updated in my organizer. Notes pertaining to Byrne, Faraday, and Macrell. It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case.
Are you sure we know everything?
Of course, the incident began when Mr. Faraday attempted to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back and they ended up killing each other. It's all very clear and simple. There is absolutely no margin for doubt.
Do you really believe that to be the truth?
Huh. Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you, that you don't want to believe it's true? It's all right. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is...
Don't worry, I will.
What happened? Wow, she about to say something, huh?
Yo.
Okay. Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rail survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rail. Mr. Rail, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him. Those are the facts of this case. Those are the facts of this case.
You good, buddy?
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. In that case, I should first look for any holes in her theory.
Rebuttal, what happened? Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous while Mr. Rail survived for a short time.
Hold it!
Do you truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously?
I have the murder report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest. There, you see? It's been documented clear as day.
Ugh!
From this, it is obvious that Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rail.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Rail before he died. Do you have any basis for that statement?
Your craziness has to end, does it? Now, I hate to repeat myself, however, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. That's all the basis I need.
Alright, so if Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, then he must have attacked Mr. Rel before being stabbed.
You're finally beginning to catch on, I see. And Mr. Rel, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him.
Hold it!
So you believe that the dying Mr. Rel stole the knife from Mr. Faraday?
Mr. Rel became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. I can't read tonight. Oops. Do I go on?
You read it? Yeah.
So the two men struggled. And in the end, Mr. Rel was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday. The condition of this room is a testament to their struggle. Yes, my logic is perfectly sound.
Can you really say that is perfect?
What are you insinuating?
Nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide by without further inquiry. One must be clear and precise, so if you could please append that statement to your testimony.
Fine. They struggled, and Mr. Rel used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday.
Hold it!
About this statement.
Mr. Rel used all of his remaining strength to take the knife and defend himself. One can easily see that they had a violent struggle. Of course, it's nothing compared to what my riding crop can do. What's she talking about anyway?
I like that, right?
Thingy. How does one compare the damage her crop can do with the state of this room?
Furthermore, all the plastic bags on the floor in this room were scattered there due to the fight. Is there anything else that I can explain for you?
No, that will be fine.
Those are the facts of this case.
Hold it!
Claiming speculation is fact already, don't you feel that the evidence is a bit lacking?
You'll find all the evidence you need just by looking around this room. Mr. Faraday collapsed on top of Mr. Rel. In addition, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, making a counterattack impossible. Furthermore, the room is a total situation from their fight. I dare say that there's more evidence here than you could whip at.
It looks like she's becoming more and more confident. And, looking at this place, she might have a right to be. After all, everything here seems to support her theory.
It looks like you're starting to see my point. I've as good as won our little competition.
There's something strange about Francisca's theory. I should compare her claim with the data I've gathered thus far. I just know there's a contradiction somewhere. Alright, what's contradiction? What's it? What's contradiction? What is it? What is it? Country. Okay, hold it. Could you say it again, Freddy? Oh, I'm thinking here, but I'm drawing a blank. No, shut up.
Read the. You didn't get the autopsy?
Nope.
Let me see. It's probably this statement, right?
Nope.
Oh, it's not this statement. Let me see. They struggled, and Mr. Real used the last of his strength.
Did they?
Hold on. Let me read that first statement.
First statement is pointless. It's not that one.
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Real survived for a short time. They struggled, and Mr. Real used the last of his strength. Hold on, how is that possible? He's supposed to have died as he was shot or stabbed, right? So he died instantly or instantaneously as he was doing.
How could there be a struggle?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. How could there be a struggle?
Do you evidence?
Is this it? Hmm? What you say? It's not? Let me see. It's either the...
Read Gumshoe's testimony again.
Was in hog. I see that he didn't hear no sign of a struggle. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
There was no struggle.
If the two men were fighting, the struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Detective Gumshoe testified that he heard absolutely nothing.
Ha! You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know. But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. Real get his hands on the knife?
Mr. Faraday's back was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It's not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. Real saw a chance and took it out at some point.
So, what you're saying is this. Mr. Real took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the back? And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. Real after being stabbed?
Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? Nope, it makes all sense. Good job, sis. Let's go home. Let's tell father. We've solved the case. What? Something doesn't add up.
Oh, really?
It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Real after being stabbed. It's this.
What? Did they want me to get some evidence?
Yup.
It's simply not possible that... So it's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. Real after being stabbed.
The notes. Read on.
Whose notes? These?
Nope, not those.
They didn't give the autopsy report.
Down, left. Down, left. That's right.
Oh.
Do you not know you're right? The
Oh,
one
hold on. Oh, gotcha. Did they look like any notes? Okay.
If he died like instantly, like he couldn't have shot him because he's already dead.
Yeah, that's true.
Take that!
I guess I'll present that.
According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife. Ergo, he could not possibly have fired the gun after that.
Ooh, you got me.
But of course.
Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Rail attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Rail. Therefore, Mr. Rail must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot. Then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense.
Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Francisca.
I just wanted to explain it to you as simple as possible. Before you were crazy, propose a crazy theory that only a crazy idiot like you could.
Yeah. That's what she said. That's what was in the dialogue box.
Go ahead.
How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid, and still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Francisca, you still got a ways to go.
What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic?
Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. And the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in the scene. The contradiction here in the crime scene is...
I say the order of the bodies.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. L. Then the wounded Mr. L found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot, and Mr. L died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look in which the order the bodies are piled.
No!
Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. L's. Therefore, Mr. L must have died before Mr. Faraday.
Impossible.
Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must find it...
No, not so fast, Mouse Edgeworth. What? Unless you...
What now, Francisca? What now?
I simply think that you ought to think a bit more outside the box. And that it's even clearer down that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong.
What happened, part 2? It was just a chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rel's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order.
I just know that Francisca's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction.
Brother, what happened part 2? It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rel's.
Hold it! Objection!
About that.
Pressing someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think? You're a real one-tricky pony, aren't you? It's too bad your trick only works on idiots.
That wasn't my intent! I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. L.
Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So, do you think you could hold on for a minute?
Ugh! Francisca, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours.
Oh, I'll hold on to it, all right? As I whip you.
Ooh.
Well, now that you've quieted it down a bit, I'd like to continue if you don't mind.
That's messed up.
The two bodies fell into a pile.
Hold it!
The two fell on top of each other. Don't you find that to be just a bit strange?
Not at all.
Ugh. I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart.
Mouse Edgeworth, once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time.
Hold it!
What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time?
I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. Rail while holding both the knife and the revolver, and then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rail grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. That is how Mr. Rail wound up on top. That is how Mr. Rail wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At closer range, there is more than possible. That is more than possible.
Close range.
Yes, it's possible, but...
Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got.
Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony.
I don't see any point to that, but as you please. The fact indicates that they attacked each other at the same time from closer range.
Hold it!
You're saying that they attacked each other at the same time from close range.
Exactly. Mr. Faraday pointed the gun at Mr. Rail's chest and pulled the trigger. Mr. Rail then took the knife from Mr. Faraday and stabbed him before he fell unconscious. The dead Mr. Faraday instantly fell on top of Mr. Rail from the stabbing, pinning Mr. Rail under him, where he died shortly thereafter. And that's how they ended up on top of each other with no contradictions to be seen. It really doesn't matter if the slightest that they fell in the opposite order.
Hold it!
Do you really believe they fell in the exact opposite order in which they attacked?
Mouse Edgeworth, you're not listening to a word that I'm saying.
Ugh!
They both attacked each other at the same time, and Mr. Rail fell first by chance, leaving Mr. Faraday to just happen to fall on top of him. Then Mr. Rail died shortly thereafter, pinned underneath Mr. Faraday. That's how it happened.
So the two men attacked each other, with Mr. Rail randomly falling down first. The fact that the order that they attacked each other in varies from the order they fell in doesn't cause a problem for me. However, there's definitely one certain aspect that I'm having trouble swallowing. So strange.
Mr.
Hold it!
Oh, girl! Oh, what's wrong?
I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Okay, she said the fact indicates that they attacked each other at the same time from closer range. But that But the it didn't have any, what you call this stuff? Gunpowder.
Yeah.
Gun, whatever you want to call it. Is this on this one? Yeah, there is no gunpowder or burn on his clothes.
Objection!
So you believe they killed each other at close range? Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes. The firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rel's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rel and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards.
Yes.
This is by far the biggest contradiction. The 2 bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rel moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation.
What a completely stupid line of stupid thoughts from a thoroughly stupid idiot. Anyway, if I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who?
The person that attacked first with murderous intent? That would be...
I can say neither.
Yeah, that's what Ashfry thinks. He thinks John Wick came in and just shot them all.
Neither man.
Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can only be one explanation. There was a third person here! It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit!
Mouse Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly. Everything you said up to until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime?
Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. What is the piece of evidence that proves there is a third person involved?
Your attorney's badge.
Yes! Take it on good faith! Wait, should I?
He's here.
Yeah?
These bags thrown around.
Yeah, you're right.
Huh?
You're right. It could have been a handgun too, since it was planted.
Take that!
The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand, and a plastic bag with his blood on it. These 2 items point to the presence of a third person.
How so?
Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground. Meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around.
So, Game Queen 81, how's it going?
Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from where they threw the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two.
We are doing well, Game Queen 81. Just enjoying our Saturday night. How about you, Plum?
I am in constant agony. JK.
Silly, whatever.
They were able to conceal their presence!
Ah! I don't know what type of scream was that, but anyway.
Looks like we've still got a very long way to go in this investigation. Yes.
Objection.
My judge stands stuff like that. What's up with you, pal?
Mr. Bad, I'd advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Ha, looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates.
Don't you dare.
That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant fib.
Ugh. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement.
I'll let his honor explain it himself. I forgot his voice again. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. Hold on, I can't even remember his voice. Anyway, during the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway.
What?
See, Mr. Bad? So I asked you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a fib?
Gumshoe, did you kill Mr. Faraday? Why did I put Faraday right there? No! Of course not, sir!
It would appear that the one who set this whole crime scene up is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete fib and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Mouse.
No. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Was that statement really a fib? Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth, or so help me. I haven't fibbed to anyone, sir! Honest! I really was there! I was in the hallway the whole time!
Hold it!
Detective Bat, I ask that you please do not act without my... After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about?
Why you doing
Let me
it,
see,
Gumshoe?
multiple murders, why he wasn't in the hallway, state of the hallway.
Gumshoe, why you shoot him in the face, Gumshoe? I knew you wouldn't do that, Gumshoe. That ain't you, Gumshoe.
The state of the highway?
Oh,
What, the motive for murders?
yeah.
He wouldn't have one if he's saying he didn't murder them, but anyway.
I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? No, sir! Not me! Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir! Is that a fact?
Objection.
You really have a problem with fibbing, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not fibbing!
The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you can become, you know? If you want a modal Edgeworth, I have one for you right here.
Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation.
You're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Gumshoe's motive. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "There's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect... Can you read tonight? Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You totally misunderstand me, pal! No matter how mad I get, I can never hold a grudge! Quiet. We can't trust anything you say. Sir! There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Misused perfect explanation may not be so perfect after all!
Rebuttal Gumshoe's motive. It was about a week ago.
Hold it!
A week ago? Then, you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances?
No way, I only met him in person today.
Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe?
Oh, I've seen him around before. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday was upset?
Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. But there he was, totally beat, red in the face. And the offended detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making now, right?
Wrong! I'm completely innocent, I tell you!
What is she saying?
You be laughing like, you know, like if somebody laughing like they like cover their head like.
Oh goodness.
The poor man.
It was quite the scene with the detective. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit."
You just stood there, watching this unfold in front of you.
Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him.
No way! I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face!
But you do.
Huh? What if I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, and those ridiculous eyebrows. Eyebrows.
Huh?
Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun.
Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now.
She's making a joke out of the situation. Anyway. Sure, why not? A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge.
To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that.
I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice?
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you Thunder do that to me earlier too? I suppose I did.
It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual work. My father can't even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people?
Well, I guess. I really shouldn't cut people's pay. Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier.
Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
You call your explanation perfect?
Is it not to your liking?
Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards.
Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? No, you're good. I'm just kidding, yeah. Alright, if you could clear this one thing up for me.
Faraday and Gumshoe's relation?
Nope.
Well, Gumshoe's motive for killing Mr. Rail?
Like, cause she didn't really expand on that. She just expanded on why he killed Faraday, but like why he would kill a random criminal.
I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rel?
His motive for killing Rail? Like I would know.
If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
What? But that's impossible! She must know something!
Wait! Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh.
I didn't even do anything, and you're already laughing away!
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a requisite trait for being of uncommon? Mouse Edgeworth, I demand you shut this rude woman up.
I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second.
Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. Motive to kill the men. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rill. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rill, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other.
Can I just tell you this one?
What?
I'll tell you.
I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member. And the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them?
Who was that one man?
It's the first statement in the newspaper. You gotta guess, basically. And I don't like that.
Deity, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You know what? I saw your video, how to do the moonwalk. All right, now. Are you a Michael Jackson fan?
We gotta play a Michael Jackson Wii game.
Motive to kill the men. What you were saying, Plum? Yes, it is. This Pluminator.
It's the first. It's this statement and the newspaper. Who like legit the start of the case.
Yes, I was on there. I subscribed actually to your channel when you asked, and when I was about to stream, there's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rill. Yeah, so I saw you as I was about to come on the stream, and I saw your how to do the moonwalk. I said, okay.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, this right here. You can't really put the music to it unless you get copyrighted, huh?
Well, Mike was with it.
Oh, was it? But yeah, I can't get copyrighted, but hey. But you did good with the moonwalk, though. Some lady, you do that every day of this kid.
Yeah.
Let me stop.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. Monsieur, I believe there's someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up?
What do you mean?
We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rill. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG8 incident. And the member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin.
Yeah, it takes years. Well, probably not years, but it takes practice. So practice makes perfect.
That's right. The very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Rill. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men?
Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You're coming for me, pal! Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all!
You're so guilty, huh?
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, Make no mistake about that.
They did have a guilty person one time in Ace Attorney.
Yup.
The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony. These are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it! You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Coaching for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any... You want to investigate coaching? You'll just be wasting your time. And why is that? Coaching was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial, so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Oh, that's me. Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe.
I suppose so. No way! Come on, Detective Bad! You've got to believe me, sir! I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir! I never took a single step into this room, sir! Okay, I know you're saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No! There was no one else, sir! Then why should I believe you didn't do it?
That is one incredibly crazy detective standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit, it's a bit strange.
Left a comment on your
Left! Left! You can't type!
Okay. Alright, Game Queen 81 saw it.
Most criminals will fabricate some sort of fib to escape their crimes. If that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up a "I spaced out while on duty" or the like. Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
Alright, deity. See you later.
Detective Bad!
And I got Gumshoe. Mouse Edgeworth. I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as they say, is that right, everyone? Ho ho ho.
Sensor?
Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Before we do, Miss Yu, there's something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
Stop laughing at my bib, okay? It's a fashion statement. It's not meant to be funny.
Oh, got to walk over to her.
Yeah?
So, what did you want to ask me about? The K8, that's a KG8 incident.
The current case of the murdered Kadapian embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG8 incident.
Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it?
I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG8 incident.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG8 incident.
I'd appreciate it if you stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? Ah, thank you. I told him he should go into voice acting.
No!
He does well with these voices.
I do, But I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Auntie said, do it, Plum.
Never!
He's so silly. Think you can stop making that ultra serious face in front of me? That's why I told him, DAT, he's very good at it.
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second.
You said if you want, you could voice act for the video game you're making. You're making a video game? Okay. Go ahead, Plum.
Does this have
Mario?
I will only voice act if it's for Super Mario. They should. I'm not going to make any headway like this.
Sure, what's up?
I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related to the KG8 incident she is.
Is this something?
Yeah. You.
Nah, the victim is CCU.
CCU.
CC1 or something.
Nah. Miss you. I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG8 incident.
The file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG8 incident?
That's your name right there, isn't it? That's your name right there. You see that? You see a thumbprint.
Your connection to the KG8 incident is to the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
You said, can you make an Easter egg of you in my game? It will be like a little plushie. I have gotten a few other people to let me, and I thought it would be amazing if you would like to as well. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't mind at all. I would like to see it too.
What's the design? What's the design gonna be?
Looks he can surprise me. Yippee. Yeah, I'll be looking out for it as well. So let me know when you're done with it. Sorry, but we're not related. My game is a dark soul like game, and then just has a little plushie of you.
Oh, she couldn't handle Dark Souls. I don't know if she can handle.
That's fine. Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help it.
Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth.
All right, I'll tell you everything I know. KG8 incident. This lady, she's laughing all. She's not taking nothing serious, is she? She laughed at Edgeworth's suit.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amano group was my sister, CCU.
As I thought.
And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree.
All because of a lack of evidence.
No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. You said finally someone else laughed at it, so the other YouTubers who said if one was Void Oblivion, he has a dinosaur type of toy, and one called Immortal 64, he has a plane. One called Sophie, and she has a little doll. Oh, I bet you that's nice. You have their channels?
What?
I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Coach's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence.
Then the evidence had been tampered with.
Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of his secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along.
How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation?
I don't really know, which is why I wanted to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KG8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean, you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think. Manny Cochin.
Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad. Has your son played any Souls-like game? Have you played?
I would get destroyed so hard. I would get like murdered. It would be so bad. I was thinking of getting Elden Ring for people who was hyping it up. But I'm not doing that because I don't want to die.
Are they violent games?
Yep, and they're also hard. I heard if you get good at them, it feels really good to like just play it though.
Oh yeah, I've seen some people play Elden Ring, so I don't know.
What's that supposed to mean?
You said that as if your voice is so deep, it's incredible.
Oh no, it's not. I'm a squeaker.
Look, don't hype him up, DSC. Don't hype him up, okay?
I'm a squeaker, nah.
Only out for it with her. Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face.
The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs away is kind of creepy.
So you got the average white voice. High pitched voice. I have to look at your video. Do you have a video of you talking? I didn't have the sound up on your moonwalk. I need to look at it with the sound on because I was right here about to start the stream, and that's when I saw your video. I watched a little bit of it. I guess I could watch it after the stream. But it's just as Mr. Bat said, he's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Haha, sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life.
Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we?
Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face!
Did you know laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth? Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty.
You see, it's a weird mix. I'm sure it's fine, Daddy.
I have no need for laughter.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up.
So, buddy, you want to talk for a bit? The KG8 incident and this murder investigation. It's my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus, that Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's fibbing, even though the fib is hurting his chances. Clearly, this case is far from over. But whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Korma, I promise to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth.
Uh-oh.
To be continued.
Well, that was the end of that case.
I told you it's gonna be long.
An hour and 38 minutes, so...
Damn, longer than I expected.
But yeah, I'm enjoying this case as well. I'm gonna go and look at your video, Deity. I appreciate you for watching the channel. Game Queen 81, Yeety, Adventure Awaits, H Game 316. Thank you all for chatting. Also, everyone else that's watching, I appreciate you all for watching. Yeah, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you don't mind hitting that like button for me, I'd appreciate it. I guess I've held you all hostage all Saturday, but most of Saturdays. With these 2.5 streams. Thank you, Deity. Well, I will talk to you all on the next one. You all take care.